What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Vintage New Jersey podcast. Full transparency here. I recorded this episode a few weeks ago. Chemistry was great. The jokes were flying. And then at the end, I realized I never hit the record button. So we're running it back. This episode's probably going to be better than the first anyway. But today I'm meeting with Ollie McAteer. He's a British guy who moved to New Jersey 10 plus years ago. He absolutely fell in love with our state, and he probably defends it harder than most New Jersey locals do. We're going to be talking about Jersey Shore summers, Jersey culture shock, foods, Revolutionary War history. We're going to be covering it all. Stay tuned. Let's check it out. Oliver, nice speaking with you again. Um, it's recording this time, so I apologize. I apologize to you privately, and now I'm doing it to you publicly. Sorry about that last time, but hopefully this will be better.
Hey, any chance to have another conversation with you? I'm good.
I know, yeah, it was great the first one, so we'll see. So yeah, I'll get right into it. So I actually, again, we covered this last time, but I stumbled upon your account maybe a few months back now, and I think it was on TikTok or Instagram, one of the two. And I just remember thinking it was such a cool and unique and refreshing page. A guy from New England, oh, sorry, New England, a guy from England moving to Jersey and kind of just, giving us what you see from your perspective in like a smart, funny way. And it kind of just stood out to me. So that's kind of why I wanted to have you on. Um, so yeah, I guess we'll start. Take us back to your roots in England. From my research, it says you grew up in Horsham, which I don't know if I'm correct on that. Um,
Yeah.
if okay, so what was life like there, and what sparked your initial move to the U.S. and New Jersey and beyond?
Yeah. The too long didn't read is you're right. I'm from Horsham, which is a little town in between London and Brighton, our seaside city. Anyone that's flown into the UK and landed in Gatwick, I'm right near Gatwick Airport. So I
Right?
grew up there and weirdly worked on a local paper there. And when there was when there was really quiet weeks, I would actually look up Horsham in America because there's a Horsham in Pennsylvania
Oh
that's named
wow!
after my Horsham. And I would be like, what's going on in Horsham? And then if we needed like space of a newspaper to fill up, I'd be like, there was a tornado that ripped through our namesake Horsham, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, yeah,
So
wow.
but born and raised in Horsham, and I think I like it so much in New Jersey. Part of the reason is because where I live now in Maplewood, it actually feels very, very similar. Like same
Really?
distance to get into New York as it did from Horsham to London. Same kind of community in the suburbs, young families trying to make it. And I worked in London as a journalist. I got brought out to Manhattan about 10 years ago now. It was
Okay.
meant to be for 3 months of work and ended up meeting my now wife.
Oh wow.
Quickly
Okay.
moved to Hoboken, Jersey City, and now we live out in the suburbs with a little 3-year-old boy. So yeah, living the
Wow.
American dream or trying.
I have a 2-year-old, so we're in the same boat there.
Nice. How are you sleeping? Are you good?
Well, now I have a 5-month-old, so we're just kind of
Awesome.
getting out of the woods of now that. So yeah,
Right.
it's still 6 a.m. ish, but whatever, I'll take it rather than
You're
everybody.
in it, brother. I send my love.
Thank you. So you first landed in New York. What were those kind of early? And I'm assuming, obviously, you probably knew just like the culture of New York and all that stuff. So I guess putting that aside, being actually in Manhattan, what were the early impressions that you had of the area, and how quickly did that lead you across the river to Jersey?
Yeah, it's interesting because I'd been to New York when I was younger once with my
Oh,
family,
okay.
but I didn't really remember much. I was like young teens. I didn't really, if you, it's different when you go out to work many years
Right, right.
later. So I went out to work and I got put up, like the company that I was with put me up in the middle of Manhattan. It was in Herald Square, like right
Okay.
on the end of Times Square. And
Yep.
I remember turning up. It was like July and it was so hot. and it was like you could smell the garbage on the street. And I always wanted to just put myself in the biggest, baddest city and see what happened.
Yeah.
So for me, it was always New York. It was always a dream to get there.
Yep.
And when I got there, I was expecting it to be like a punch in the face and ears and nose and all the
Yeah.
senses, and it absolutely was. Like it was everything. It was everything I could imagine and more. And it's like London but on crack. It's
Right.
like London but
Really?
condensed, and everything's like oosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I loved it, and I was in Manhattan for about 6 months in
Oh,
this
wow.
place they put me up, and then the time came when they were like, we can't afford to keep you there anymore because it was like like I had my own studio flat essentially in the middle of Manhattan. I was like, yeah, how are you affording this?
Yeah. Right.
So they were like, you go back and get your visa and then come back, but then you're on your own and you need to find your own accommodation. So I came back and I was just literally looking at any place that would take me. When I was in the UK, I was like, okay, I'm going to look at Manhattan. I'm going to look at Williamsburg and Brooklyn. But
Yep.
people told me, whatever you do, don't go to Hoboken. It's full of 20 somethings that go out drinking after work and it's just really
Oh,
fratty. And I
wow.
was like, I,
Terrible.
I was. I was that person. I was like, that sounds great. So I immediately looked at Hoboken and found what was essentially like a frat house to live
Yeah.
in with three other guys
Yeah. Yeah.
on Park and Second, and just fell in love with the city. It was really fun. I still think to this day, Hoboken is the best place to live in the entire world. Like, there's no place that has that proximity to Manhattan that has its own identity, and I absolutely love it. It's awesome.
Use everything.
Yeah, the best views. Yes, best views of Manhattan are in Hoboken, in Jersey.
Sleep on that. It's like literally you're like right there. I mean, it's people from New Jersey know what I'm talking about, but if you're not, or if you're not from that area, I mean, it's awesome. Hoboken's great. I've visited a few times, well, many times, but I've never like lived there. But I can imagine. I mean, it's awesome. I've stayed in some Airbnbs and stuff like overnight, but it's such a sick place, sick vibe. So, all right, I don't
So
blame you on that. So many Brits romanticize New York City, but you ended up falling hard for New Jersey. What was that aha moment when you realized like New Jersey's where I want to kind of stay?
it was honestly it had everything to do with my wife, who's
Okay.
from West Orange.
Women.
She's from West Orange. She's a tried and true Jersey girl.
Yeah.
And when I came to Manhattan and I met her pretty quickly, like three months in, and she was the reason that I ended up staying because the job that I had at the time was I wasn't enjoying it. But I ended up staying for her. But I had a bucket list of like American things that I wanted to do, and I wanted to go to a frat party, and I wanted to, do all these things, and she helped me check all of these things off my
Oh,
bucket
nice.
list. So we started off as just friends, and she was like, okay, this weekend you're gonna come out to Jersey. Like I wanted to go to the Jersey Shore and I wanted to go to a frat party. And she was like, look, she was like, you're too old to go to a frat party, but
Yeah,
she
sure.
used to be part of yeah, she used to be part of a sorority. She went to TJ
Okay. Yeah.
and
NJ,
and
sure.
a bunch of her, yeah, a bunch of her frat colleagues were still friends, and they rented a shore house every season, right? And that was new to me. We don't have that culture back home in the UK. So she was like, "You're going to get on New Jersey Transit on the Saturday. You're going to go out to West Orange. I'll pick you up." And she picked me up, and she got me a bagel from the bagel box in West Orange, which is the best bagels in New Jersey, I think.
Okay. Shout
And she gave me a coffee, black, and we just drove down to the shore,
Awesome.
and we went to Manasquan
Yep.
and we did it up Jersey Shore style.
Right.
And I think honestly that was the time I just fell in love with Jersey. But it was more the spirit of Tracy and the
Yeah.
spirit of New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's when I fell in love.
So your wife was like your little New Jersey cultural tour guide.
She was, and it's funny. Like if you're a Jersey person and you grow up with New York right there, it
Yeah.
doesn't have the same impact as it does if you've never been there before. It's
Right.
just like a city you go to work. So
Right.
she tells me that she was discovering New York for the first time when we first started dating
Oh,
because we were
nice.
doing all these tourist things, and
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's good to have the best of both worlds. Manhattan, New Jersey.
Can't go wrong. So you've lived in Hoboken, Jersey City. Now you're in the Maplewood, South Orange area. What you kind of nailed this down, but I would say what drew you to each spot and have those experiences shown you the full range of like Jersey life, maybe North Jersey life, from like urban buzz to like the suburban charm, you know?
Yeah, like I count myself very lucky to have been on or experienced at least some of the spectrum of New
Yeah.
Jersey living. But it's a big spectrum, right? And I think, yeah, I think it's more than just Hoboken, JC, and now Maplewood and South Orange and Montclair. There's a whole New Jersey, and it's like its own country.
It really is.
So, but I loved Hoboken and Jersey City. Hoboken was party town, especially if you're downtown. It's very close to the city, so I loved the commute. I loved the nightlife, and it was really fun. And then Jersey City felt like a bit more diverse and a bit more kind of elevated in terms of nice restaurants and
Yeah.
more kind of families. You're more edging towards the family world.
Yeah.
Um, and then it was a nice transition to then go to Maple when we had our kid and and get a house there and just have more space and go to a place that is more like everyone is in the same boat where they're young families trying to
Yep.
make it in New York, but provide a space where their kids can grow up without being hammered by all the senses and have a backyard and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like I've been very lucky, very fortunate to experience at least that spectrum of New Jersey.
Yeah, we're such a small state, but we're so like diverse with I mean, from sports fans to just the culture, accents. It's like you got South Jersey's Philly accents, North Jersey like New York accents, and you got the Central Jersey. So yeah, it's a small state, but like super compact with a bunch of stuff. Um, so
Yes. Yes.
what would you say like the biggest culture shocks for you early on? Whether it was like the food, the weather, the like the slang, or just maybe the sheer like scale of everything.
I think a few things. I think a lot of logistical things, like boring logistical things that you don't think of when you move from another country. It's like even buying a train ticket, you need to punch in your zip code. That's so bizarre to me
Okay.
because you don't do that back home. And I there was a time when I wasn't registered to a zip code. So it's like I can't even buy a train ticket. So
Right.
bizarre stuff like that. And then when you go into a bar and you surrender your credit card, I still think that's really weird.
Oh,
You pay as you go in the UK.
right, right.
Yes, there's been countless times in Hoboken, especially where I've just left the card behind. I had to go to the bar and do the walk of shame the next day and get your card.
Yeah.
Um, and and then like the tipping culture, these things aren't specific to New Jersey, but just America
No, I
in general.
mean,
Like,
sure.
yeah, the tipping culture is strange. I'll always tip and I'll over tip,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't agree with it. Like,
yeah,
I think we're paying for a problem that should have been fixed by now
yeah,
by the service industry. Pay your people better.
yeah. It's like they're getting paid minimum wage, so their income's based solely off tips, most case.
Yeah, it's wrong. Like, don't pass that guilt onto me. Like, pay your people better.
Right.
I find it crazy.
Sometimes like
Tax,
they have like
tip.
gratuity like included. So it's like then if you don't see that, you're tipping on top of that. It's just like it's crazy. I agree. It is crazy.
Yeah.
So what specifically about New Jersey has kind of won you over, maybe even compared to like England or New York even? If you
It's the people. Yeah, I mean
yeah.
it's the people. I mean, what a spectrum and amazing net of culture that New Jersey has, and it all comes back to the people. The spirit of New Jersey is the people. The best way I can describe it, like living in New Jersey but working in Manhattan, is kind of like you go 7 rounds with Tyson in the boxing ring of Manhattan, but then in between rounds you get thrown into the corner and you have that nice like trainer who's massaging your
Yeah.
shoulders and
Yep.
giving you the speech to pep you up. Yeah, that's like New Jersey. New
Yeah.
Jersey is like the older brother that it's sensitive, but you don't want to mess with
Right, right,
but
right.
has your back, and it's like, all right, you've done New York, we've got you. We'll throw you back in for another round.
Yep.
I love that, and I think that spirit comes through
Yeah.
in everyone, and everyone's so welcoming. In terms of like, I'm not from here, so
Yeah.
it's nice that everyone's been welcoming with open arms.
Yeah. No, that's I agree with that totally. So I'd be remiss to not talk about some Revolutionary War history. So this is probably the most important question of the entire podcast. As a Brit, what's it like to live in a state that helped defeat you guys?
It's funny. I often wonder. I'm like, people say time actually doesn't heal stuff or change stuff, but my gosh, can you imagine having this conversation 250 years ago? Like, different world, but friend. I can't believe you guys let the Brits back in after what we did. Like,
You'd
you
be
know what's really
hung for
funny
treason.
is that in the UK, it's not part of like schooling. It's not part of learning. It's not part of any syllabus in the school. Like you learn about Romans, the Anglo-Saxons, the Vikings, whatever. You don't learn about us being here, and it's the most bizarre thing because it's really recent in terms of
Yeah, I
history,
know.
and it's really pinnacle.
I was going to say it's very important.
So yeah, really important. I love that the history is pretty recent,
Yeah,
and it's still crazy to me when you walk around and you just stumble across all of these artifacts and places of civil war. Like I spend uh, summers down at Long Beach Island
yep.
where I can because my wife's family have a place down there, which
Beautiful.
is really awesome beach town to sort of be able to say you go to.
Yes.
Lucky and the lighthouse area there with Old Barney. It was the site of like a big massacre with the Brits. So it's
Yeah.
just crazy walking past, like going for a run and seeing this big plaque, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, like 250 years ago, I wouldn't be welcome here.
Yeah, right, exactly. So like have you I know you talked about the plaque on Barney, but have you visited any of like the old battlefield site? I think it's like Monmouth has a battlefield site, Princeton, Trenton. Like I don't know if you're even into that sort of thing, but I mean we have a bunch of cool like revolutionary spots that are kind of all preserved, you know. So I don't know if you've ever gotten a chance to go there.
Yeah. I really haven't, and it's been on my list of things
Yeah.
to do. I really want to spend days doing it and going out and spending proper time. Like we drive past George Washington headquarters all the time,
Yeah.
like whenever we're
Like,
on our
yeah.
way into New Jersey, you see it. Yeah, like even my wife is like, I've never been and we should go. So we need to spend the time doing it. There's so much history on our
Yeah.
doorstep that we just haven't accessed. I mean, where would you recommend?
I mean, Princeton is cool. I mean, you have all, like the battlefields and all that, but then, especially with kid, you know, you have a kid. It's a nice little downtown area. It's like a college town, but not crazy. You know, they have high-end restaurants and art galleries and shopping. So yeah, I mean, if you want to like do a day trip, I would highly recommend Princeton. Trenton's probably got a little bit more history
Nice.
just because it's like the capital and it was so close to everything, but like that's kind of sketchy. Not trying to bash our beautiful state capital, but yeah, I would say Princeton.
Nice, nice.
So is it weird for you to celebrate July 4th?
Yeah, I love that. I love that no one talks, like everyone just uses these holidays to like go on a boat and drink some
I
beer
know,
and do barbecue. Like no
fireworks.
one's ever like, hey, we defeated you. Yeah, but it is strange. It is when you realize for a moment what you're celebrating and what
Right.
this day is about, and then
People
you're
forget about
back,
that.
and I'm like by definition starting to recolonize.
Right.
So it's just
I know,
hilarious
right? Slowly.
to think about it like that.
All right, so we'll move on from that. So the big, I guess the second
Yeah,
biggest question.
it's a sore subject.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to bring it up. So another important question. What do you say, Taylor ham or pork roll? And have you
Okay,
had it?
so I hear this is split by yeah, I hear this is split by North and South Jersey, or where you are in Jersey,
Yes.
right? And it's really highly contentious. But I'm a Taylor ham person. I'm fully aware that that is the brand,
Okay.
whereas pork roll is the ubiquitous
Yes.
Taylor hams, right? But I'm a Taylor ham guy. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Yes, I think you're correct, especially in where you live, by saying Taylor ham. So that's good. Do you have any other New Jersey kind of classic foods that maybe surprised you or become like instant favorites?
Oh wow, yeah, because it's like I wouldn't get on a plane for many foods, but I would get
Oh,
on a plane. I've moved back to the UK. I've moved out of New Jersey. I would come back for the Sloppy Joe at South Orange Town Hall. There's also a really good one at Milburn Deli. They people like to pit them against each other, but they're two different Sloppy Joes in my opinion. But Town Hall Deli in South Orange is just incredible. And when people described it to me as just like a sandwich, because
Right.
I know sloppy Joe means different thing again, in different parts of America. Sloppy Joe here being deli meats and coleslaw and like I don't know what they put in it, but it's magic. It's a tiny square, and it's like the best sandwich I've ever had. You match that with some chips,
Yep.
and you are good. I also there's some
They have,
great
like,
pizza.
I was gonna say they have different variations too. Like you can get like turkey sloppy Joe versions. You can get like ham and turkey. There's a bunch of different options you can get. So people try it out if you
Yeah,
have.
yeah. They're all amazing. They're also so big up
Yeah.
Town Hall Deli in South Orange and the Millburn Deli. Also the pizza here is incredible. The the best pizza in the UK is the worst pizza in New Jersey. I think pizza and bagels are done better in New Jersey compared to New York. And I'm a big fan of a lot of pizza. There's a special place in my heart for 10th Street Pizza in Hoboken. Love it. But there's some great pizza out here too. Like big up to Corner Slice,
Okay.
which is a really cool pizzeria that opened up in Maplewood, but they had a place in Manhattan for the longest time. And it's like one of the first big establishments or like New York establishments that said
Yeah.
goodbye Manhattan were opening up here. And I think it shows just like the draw of New Jersey.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So ignorant question on my part. Do you guys have bagels in England? I mean, that might sound silly, but I just, when I think of like an English breakfast, I think of, sausage, beans, egg, all that stuff. But I don't, is that a thing over there,
We have bagels. It's hard to find freshly made bagels, so bagel shops are hard to come by. But when I was growing up, even like my mum would buy bagels, and the taste is nothing like the bagels that you get here. It's not even comparison. But the funny thing is, the brand over there is called New York Bagels. So there's like a big brand of New York bagels
Hey, that's
that
good
people have
marketing.
for breakfast. Yeah, but you are right. It's like it's fry ups, it's beans, it's eggs, it's hash brown, it's black pudding. It's
Yes.
all of these things which I haven't found a good fry up in New Jersey or New York. So if any of your listeners or you have recommendations
I
for a
don't,
good
but
British slap up,
I've never even had, I've seen, I'm not picky at all. I'm like pretty much a garbage can when it comes to food. So I'll try and eat anything. So I definitely, that's been a goal of mine to have a nice, proper English breakfast. So speaking of breakfast, New Jersey is the diner capital of the world. Have you been to any cool diners or ones that you would recommend, or even ones that you become like a usual at?
like two and one you can't go to anymore because it closed down. But I think the ultimate diner experience, this one you can go to, I think it's head and shoulders above the rest, is Summit Diner in
Oh
Summit.
yeah.
And it is so cool. It is stuck in time. It is everything you want it to be, like busted booths, like long bar with seats at the bar. It's very hard to get into. It's got good outside seating though in the summer. So I love Summit Diner. Food's great. And then the other one which you can't go to is Mustache Bill's on
Oh
Long Beach
yes.
Island.
Yes. That
Yeah,
recently, right?
yeah, incredible. I think Guy Fieri. Well, I mean, Guy Fieri's been everywhere, right? But
Yeah.
he was in there gassing it up. But they were around for so long, and they closed. They just had their last season. So yeah, it's such a shame to. That's a New Jersey icon. I feel that has just been lost, and I hate to see it happen. I really do.
Yeah, that's it's sad. I did a early one of my first podcasts. It wasn't the best, but I did like how New Jersey diners are dying, it's like a thing that's happening in our state. So we're still the diner capital, but like there's a lot that are going under. So
Yeah, it's hard.
it's a sad day. Um
Yeah, I have to shout out the Maple Leaf Diner too, which is in Maplewood, which is my local one, which has been there for generations and still goes today. It operates under different names all the time, but I love that one.
yeah, okay. Honestly, you can't go wrong with Jersey diners in general. So you were talking about earlier about like, bars and nightlife, a part of your New Jersey journey as well. So you've been to, Hoboken spots, I'm sure maybe where you are now, Jersey City, all that. Do you have any like standout bar stories or places that feel like a perfect mix of like a British pub energy or an American bar culture?
Yeah, look, when I'm in America, I don't look for British pub energy. That's what Britain's for. So I look for something really
Okay.
American and New Jerseyan, and the head and shoulders above the rest is Parker House in Sea Grit.
Yes. Secret.
that just outside Manasquan.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a combination of I don't even know. I mean, I think it's nicknamed God's Basement. It's got a huge, expansive basement for dancing. It's got like live bands. It feels like a frat party. It's in some old mansion that they've converted. It's got like a cool
Yes.
kind of seafood lobster thing on
Okay.
the side. I absolutely love it. It's one of the places that I went to when my wife took me down for the first time. I'm way too old for it now,
No, I
but
know.
I
I
think
haven't been
it's
in
such
years.
an
I've had many, many, many a nights there.
it, it's awesome. As a Brit, you kind of grow up with a lot of American culture, right? And I grew up a lot with American Pie
Yeah.
and those kinds of movies in like the early 2000s
Yep.
or late 90s. And I came to America thinking, is it going to be like American Pie? And some parts of it 100% are. And I recently on this channel I did a post about Parker House and said this is like American Pie for real. And
Yeah.
the main star Jason from American Pie actually commented and said, as someone from New Jersey, because he's
Yes.
from New
That is
Jersey, and
something. Yeah.
as a star in American Pie, I confirm this to be true.
Wow. Okay. So there you go. It was valid for you. Made it valid. I agree. It's crazy. And then there's also, Manasquan itself has places and Point Pleasant. So it's like the Jersey Shore, man. I mean, I live there, so I'm a little biased, but yeah, Parker House. Oh, so much fun back in the day. My single days. So when you go back,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Speaking of that, when you go back home and you rave about, I don't know how often you go back home, but you rave about New Jersey to your fellow people there. It's history, diners, all that stuff. Do they get it, or is there like a weird like stereotype of New Jersey kind of being like the butt of jokes, like just like Sopranos and smokestacks and all that, or do you do a good job of kind of defending?
No, you are right. The stereotype of New Jersey being the armpit of America, it lives strong outside of America. Like everyone thinks that. They're like, why have you gone all the way to Manhattan and to work in Manhattan only to live not in Manhattan? Like people don't get it.
Yeah,
So if you don't get New Jersey, you don't get New Jersey, but you got to live there to really feel
right.
it. So I'm not going to try and sell it to people. I mean, people tell me in the comments all the time, like, hey, I love your hype for New Jersey, but can you stop? Because we are full and we don't want people to know the secret. So I'll
Right, right.
stop telling people back home how great it
Yeah.
is.
We don't want everyone moving here. New York's already, people from New York are already piling on in.
Oh
So,
yeah, it's getting expensive.
yeah, I know. So I've seen videos, I've read some of your interviews that you've done. So you've talked about experiencing everything from like earthquakes to, the full spectrum of New Jersey living. What is one story that you could think of that captures the wild, unpredictable side of American life, Jersey maybe, versus like the predictable British one, if that makes sense?
Yeah, yeah. I think, I mean, might be a boring answer, but I think it's the crazy adventures that are on your doorstep because of the accessibility of New Jersey. So,
Yeah.
you can wake up in New Jersey, nowhere near the shore, and within an hour or a couple of hours, you could be at a cool place on the shore, at someone's beach house, on a boat,
Yep.
like waving the American flag and crushing Miller Lights in like a lagoon or a lake or on a bay or on the ocean. Like you don't do that back home. You can't just leave your front door and be like, oh, I want to go on a boat today and do it. Like the weather's crappy. There's not many beaches that are, awesome. So I love that. And then during the winter, I mean, I know New Jersey is not known for its mountains and skiing, but if you want that, you can do that. Like, and then if you want to get away a little bit, there's cabins, there's just so much to do. There's no one story that sticks out in my mind, but I do just love
Oh
and
yeah,
have loved time to time, like
yeah,
waking up and being like, all right, we'll go to the beach. We'll like do beach, we'll do boat stuff today because you can. It's crazy.
yeah, I agree. So balancing your career in, I think you said marketing, advertising, with this transatlantic life that you now have, has living in New Jersey kind of influenced maybe your creativity or how you perform at your job or anything like that?
Yeah, 100%. Because you're only as good as your job is at your job as your happiness and fearlessness allows you to be, I think. And New Jersey gives me the space to think. It makes me very happy. The people are awesome. And there's a lot of creative people out there too. Like I work in creative advertising and marketing for an agency called Mischief, shout out Mischief.
Cool.
And I just love it. And a part of the reason I really love America in general, but I feel like this thrives in New Jersey than most other places, maybe Manhattan too, is there's just like there's no limit to who you can be as a character. New Jersey, Manhattan, America in general, unless you go somewhere weird, is very accepting of who you are and who you want to be with no constraints around that and like no judgment. So I love being untethered in my character and saying, you know what, like I want to do this and I want to go all in. And everyone's like, fair play, go and do that. Whereas in other societies that I've lived in, I feel like it can be a bit judgmental and be like, wouldn't do that, or like you can do that, but not like this. But here it's like, you want to do it, go do it. I love that.
That's cool. So when you go back home again, I don't know how often you visit, do people say that you've lost your accent?
I definitely get some flack from my parents about it
Really?
because I have like softened some of my things. Like I won't say water, I'll be like water, like the little subtle things like that. But I've really tried to hold on to it. So my family notice it more than probably I do. But I feel like people say I've retained it pretty good for being
Yeah,
here for like a decade. So I
yeah,
hope I keep it.
yeah. So after nearly what, 10 plus years in the US, New Jersey kind of area, do you ever miss England or has New Jersey fully become home? And what would it take for you to move back if that was the case?
I think I miss England. I do because my family's there, and I miss a lot about it. So I do love England. I home is wherever my family is, and I've got an immediate family here. Yeah, I've got family back home, so I count myself very lucky that I have two homes. New
Yeah,
Jersey's our home for now, but you
yeah,
never know in the future. But we'd have to take something great for me to go back. Like if we opened up, we are only in Manhattan right now, but if we opened up an office in the UK, I would fight to be the one to open it,
yeah,
so I could be back there for a little bit.
yeah,
But there's just not. The opportunity here is incredible. Just don't see that kind of opportunity for career and finance. I don't see that
yeah.
anywhere else. So I think it's here for now, but I hope eventually that I can bounce between the two more easily.
Okay, great. And a few more questions. I know you got to get going. If you were to give, what advice would you give to maybe other fellow Brits or anyone really considering a move to New Jersey? And what's one underrated thing about the state that everyone should experience?
Ooh, I would say immediately look at New Jersey to move. It's just a better place to live. It's better proximity to New York. It's cheaper than living in Manhattan or Brooklyn. It's
Yep.
got more vibrancy, more community, more characters. Definitely just start your American journey in New Jersey. Um, I I think my number one piece of advice for anyone moving abroad or to America or New Jersey is to say yes to everything for the first year when you move here. And someone told me that when I first moved, and I was like, oh, I'm not like an introvert or anything like that, but you don't want to do all the things all the time. But I said yes to everything, and I built the foundation of friends that I've had now here for a decade. Just
Yeah.
saying, yeah, sure, I'll go do that. Sure, I'll go do that tonight, or I'll do that at the weekend, and just say yes. Saying yes opens up your world so much. So, and this is why I love every person that has moved and stayed here from other countries in New Jersey because it is the best person from that country. Because you have a lot of people in the UK or elsewhere being like, why would you live in America? What about guns? What about the politics? What about Trump? What about all of this? It's like, but the people that move here make peace with that,
Yeah.
and they're just all in and they're very optimistic about it.
Yeah.
You don't live here if you don't want to. So
Right.
it's only people that really want to live here. So that just generates like a really cool outlook on life, and it's very positive, I think, for the people that have moved here.
Yeah. No, that's a great answer. I can't agree more with that. So looking ahead, what's next for you in New Jersey? Do you have any content coming out? I know you recently had a viral hit with that the traffic guard lady. Do you have any, or is it kind of just spur of the moment stuff, or you just still want to just do like Brit Jersey kind of stuff?
the channel is a side quest that has side quested more hard than I thought it would. So I'm really enjoying it. But what I enjoy most about it is just telling the stories of people that don't normally get the limelight and the businesses that wouldn't normally get the time of day. So I'm using the platform as it grows
Yeah.
to tell those stories. So I would say to any of your listeners, if you've got an interesting story, would love to hear and I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
There's no charge. We're not doing anything like that. Like I will take money from big brands for sure,
Yeah.
but for Lucas, I just want to be used as a platform and get the word out that
I agree.
we live in such a cool place at a cool time with great people, great businesses, and I'm just enjoying that. And I'll see where that takes me. And yeah, I hope it takes me to unexpected places. But the goal is just to use it as a fun side quest right now.
The love of the game at this point. I agree with that. So, okay, rapid fire. A few questions for you. Just one answer, unless you want to expand more. Wawa or British corner shop?
Oh, British corner shop because it's more personal. It's more personal. There's two
Wow.
different things. There's two different things.
Yeah, yeah,
Wawa. Wawa is great for the studs, but the corner shop, you can't beat the corner shop. It's very personal.
yeah. Okay, great answer. London pub or Jersey dive bar?
London pub, you
Yeah,
can't beat it.
I've never
You
been, but
can't beat it because you can drink out. Yeah, you can drink outside, and you can imagine pouring your ale and walking outside to cobbled stone streets that have been there for thousands of years, and everyone's there. It's great. There's nothing like it.
okay. Tea or iced tea?
Neither.
Oh,
Don't
wow.
like either. Coffee. Coffee, strong and black.
Yes. New Jersey Transit or London Underground?
Oh, I've actually made some posts about this. It's New Jersey Transit all the way. And I want to clarify on this call because a lot of people say it's two different things. It's an underground system and it's
Okay.
a overhead system. Like, yeah, but my commute is the same distance from Maplewood to New York as it was Horsham to London.
Oh, really? Okay.
So
So yeah, you're
yeah,
going
so and I
time.
yeah, and I'm going toe for toe. Like I would take our version of New Jersey Transit and then change for London Underground for
Right, right,
most
right.
of it.
Yeah.
So 'cause the undergrounds are really, really long. They're like much bigger than like the New York subway system.
Yeah.
So I do it by like that's my like for like. And for New Jersey Transit, bigger double decker trains, cleaner. It's more like it's less primitive compared to the London Underground where you're shoved in like sardines and it's like people don't know how good they have it. It's also cheaper in New
Oh,
Jersey
really?
too,
Okay.
even though they keep hiking the prices. Way cheaper, yeah, way cheaper. So people don't know how good they have it here with NJ Transit. I'm an NJ Transit fanboy.
Okay, great. Shout out New Jersey Transit. Parkway traffic or London traffic?
Parkway because at least if you're on the Parkway, you know you're going somewhere cool.
Yeah, I agree. Use guys. Is that an elite phrase or a linguistic nightmare?
It's an elite phrase if you can pull it off with authenticity. I'm not going around saying it.
Right,
No
right,
one
right.
my age should. It should be someone's grandfather that was born and bred in New Jersey. That's cool. My father-in-law was kind of like that when he was around,
Yeah.
and I had the utmost respect for his mannerisms.
All right, cool. Oliver, this was awesome. Thank you again for for meeting with me. Like I said, it has been recording, so thank you. I love your perspective on just things in general, but New Jersey too. And I really appreciate you taking the time to come and meet with me again.
No, thank you so much. This was awesome. I think it was better than the first chat anyway. And big shout out to your channel and your community. I love what you've
Yes,
built, and you've built a huge amount. Like it's a really big following, and the content's awesome. So if you're still recording, please everyone
yes,
go to Vintage.
yes. Thank you. And make sure to follow yours. I'll tag you. Don't worry, you'll be tagged. But all right, thanks, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, mate.
Message New Jersey podcast.